Welcome to the JFusion installation tutorial. My name is Marius van Rijthoever and I'm the lead developer for JFusion. In this tutorial I'll show you how easy it is to install JFusion and how easy it is to turn Joomla into a powerful portal system which manages your users across many different softwares. First, you will need to log into your Joomla administration panel. Under Extensions, click on Install, Uninstall. You can either download the installation package from the JFusion website and use Browse to select it, or today I'm going to download it straight away from the Joomla website with the URL jfusion.org/jfusion_latest_package.zip. Click on Install when you're ready, and JFusion will install all the needed modules and components, as you can see here. Make note that you look at all the different steps you need to do to install JFusion. It's very easy, but if you miss out a step, you can lock yourself out of the Joomla administration panel and find it hard to change your JFusion settings. In the control panel, you have an overview of the different functions of JFusion. You also have an area where you have the news of JFusion and an area where you can see who are the team members of JFusion. Now, it might be really tempting to enable the JFusion plugins at this stage. However, if you do this, you will be locked out and unable to log in. So please wait to do this until after the installation is complete. The first thing we'll do is we'll click on Joomla options. Here you can see the options which are for your Joomla login. You can select that users can log in with their username, their email, or with both. Username is the default. You can add a username filter to make your usernames case insensitive, like PHP BB does. However, if you're unsure, just leave this to Joomla int. The other thing is what you need to tell JFusion that if a new user is created, what should be the default user group. You can select from all the normal Joomla user groups, and registered is the best option. Make sure you change the URL to your Joomla software, otherwise links might not be properly generated. And the last section here is you can automatically update activations, bans, or emails across different softwares. A good option is to click on the auto update email and set it to yes, so users won't get blocked out every time they make an email change. However, if you're doing this first time round and you use the sync and you would like to view for conflicts, then you can leave this to no. The other section is here the visual integration options, which you can leave empty for now. And we'll go back up and click on Save. Now we're going to configure the plugin that we want to integrate with Joomla. In this example, I'm going to integrate with PHP Bulletin Board, and the easiest way is by clicking on Wizard after selecting it. Then type in the path to your software and click on Next. The wizard will automatically fetch all of the settings from the configuration file, and you just need to make sure that all of the details are correct. We've got the database settings, we have the URL and the path to the software. The one thing you might want to look at is the cookie domain. If you want to have your softwares on different subdomains, you need to have your cookie domain starting with a dot followed by just your domain name itself. This will allow that if you have your different softwares into different subdomains, that the dual login feature will still work. You will also need to change the cookie domain in the external software to match the JFusion settings. Make sure that you set the default user group to registered for PHP. Username filtering is something which is currently being tested out, just leave it on standard. And the same thing as with the Joomla plugin, where you have to automatically update statuses for the plugins. After you finish, you click on Save. You should now see a green tick in both of the softwares indicating that the plugins have been configured correctly. If still a red tick is present, you need to make sure that the configuration of these plugins is correct by selecting them and clicking on Edit. Next, you need to decide which software is going to be the master and which software is going to be the slave. User registration can only be done through one software. In this case, I will make Joomla the master, which means that registration will go through Joomla, and the same thing with lost passwords and all those other user managements. And I will make Bulletin Board my slave. Excellent, we're all ready now, and the next step will be doing a user sync. In this case, first I want to make sure that all of my current bulletin board users are imported into my Joomla database in order that they can still access. And I will select Import Slave Users into Master, and I will click to include this plugin to the user sync. Next step is click on Start. User sync uses Ajax, which means it will be almost impossible to get timeouts, and there will be an update given on the process every 10 seconds. And as you can see, the user sync has finished. There were 65 users created and there were still 16 user conflicts. What we'll do is we'll click on the link to see what they were and how we can resolve them. Read through the instructions very carefully to resolve these user sync conflicts. After they have been resolved, again we can go back to the user sync, then say import all of our master users into slaves and press start. If you want to, you can skip the first step if all of your users are already present in the master software, and you can just use the user sync to synchronize your users into the slave plugin. After you are done, you need to use the login checker to make sure that you can actually log in and that everything is working as expected. I will type in my details in this case. If you want to, you can skip your password check, however that's not recommended because we want to test it out, and we will just untick all of these ones to test out if it's working. And again, it's working. We've got some information outputted first, so we can help you on the support forum if needed. And you can see a valid password has been found and the slave user has been updated. Excellent. This means it works correctly, and we can go back to the control panel. We can click on the Enable JFusion plugin button. Make sure you read the warning properly in order that you've made sure that the login checker works, and press OK. Excellent. JFusion is now working, and what you need to do is you need to go into your website and make sure you can log in and the login is working as expected. If you encounter any problems, please check out the documentation section on the jfusion.org website or search the support forums for more help. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed JFusion.